cannot believe that the day is finally here. It is finally time to pack and get prepared for my trip to Europe, which is honestly so insane that I can even say that because I've been looking forward to this trip for probably close to a year now, and I'm just so excited. On the itinerary, we have London, Marbella in the south of Spain, the south of France, the Amalfi Coast, and then ending off our trip in Rome. And yeah, I definitely need to start packing because today is Thursday and I leave on Sunday, but today's really the day that I have the most time to actually pack. So this is definitely the type of trip that I definitely need to put a lot of thought into what I'm packing and bringing, and just being overall very strategic so I also don't have an overweight bag. This is definitely one of my all-time favorite videos to film just because I truly believe that the preparing and packing for a trip and just the full process of it is a part of the trip and is such an exciting part of travel. And I also am a little bit type A and just love doing these kind of things. So I'm not gonna lie, I have been looking forward to this day so much. So just being able to show you guys the process of how exactly I like to pack and do things is just gonna be so much fun, especially for a big trip like this. Something that I have been doing over the last few months, especially just thinking about, you know, the type of outfits that I would love to curate on this trip, has been spending a lot of time on Pinterest, which I feel like is always so fun for any type of trip, but it's been really helpful just creating this board that has helped me think about different pieces, accessories, and also just the gaps in my own personal wardrobe that I'd love to fill. I've been having so much fun creating this Pinterest board, and I recommend it for any type of trip you're going on. And another great thing is that looking at all of these different outfits and just the overall vibe that I'm going for, which is obviously going to be very beachy, lots of linens, has also helped me rediscover pieces in my own wardrobe and how I can style them differently. And I have been so much more intentional when I have been shopping for this trip. Some of the trip is going to be very city, like London, where I'm actually going to be spending a full week. And then for the following 2 weeks of the trip, it's going to be mainly more beachy towns and areas. So knowing that, I think it's so helpful. Instead of packing based on location, I've been trying to think of certain pieces that I can wear both in the city and then also in a beach town, because at this point, I'm definitely going to try my best to save as much space as I can. So every inch of the suitcase is put to use. I definitely think that this is the first most important step of packing. At least for me, it definitely helps me kind of set like a vision and a vibe. Before we officially get into packing for Europe, I do have to share the absolute travel essential that is coming with me, and that is my level 8 Voyager suitcase. Is this not the prettiest suitcase color you've ever seen? This is in their Celadon color, and I am genuinely so excited to be bringing this suitcase with me for so many reasons, and you guys will definitely see why as I'm packing. This is their 30-inch case from the Voyager collection. Not only is it so aesthetically pleasing, but it is also incredibly functional. Level 8 is a modern brand based in New York that's known for their sleek designs and thoughtful details, and that definitely shows in this suitcase. One of my favorite features is the ultra quiet spinner wheels. They are so smooth even if the suitcase is packed full. I've been testing it around the house for the last couple of weeks and it just glides so seamlessly. It has the most buttery movement I've ever seen in a suitcase. It also has the handlebar design that makes stacking my carry-on or tote so much easier and also so much more stable, which is amazing because that also means no more juggling bags at the airport. Inside, the asymmetrical design is actually genius. I will be using one side for easy access essentials that you guys will see as I pack it in this video, and then the other side for bulkier items. It's honestly going to make packing so much more organized, and it's made me even more excited to pack for this trip. From the city days in London that are coming up to beach days in Positano, this level 8 suitcase will be carrying all the essentials that I need and just overall keeping everything super secure. The hard shell feels so durable, but at the same time, the suitcase itself feels so lightweight. And you guys know me, I just love how gorgeous this suitcase is. Everything from the shape to the colors, the quality. So if you're looking for a high quality, elevated suitcase that travels beautifully, I cannot recommend level 8 enough. I actually also have their carry-on suitcase, which I have been obsessed with for the last couple of years. And it's gotten to the point where it is so amazing that everyone in my family is always wanting to borrow it when they travel. So I will be leaving all the details that you need to know about level 8 in the description below. And I just want to kindly thank level 8 for sponsoring today's video. This obviously feels like such a seamless sponsor for this video, and I'm just so grateful that level 8 is going to be a part of my Europe trip. And I also have a fresh set of packing cubes, which I'm so excited to use. If you guys have never used packing cubes before, I would highly recommend them. I feel like they're just something that you don't realize how much easier they can make your travel and your luggage until you try them for yourself. But yeah, I think it's time for us to start actually organizing. I'll put things in them based on category. So for example, the bigger one is probably going to be my dresses, maybe a smaller one for tops. But yeah, now that I'm looking at them, I feel like I'll definitely need more. But yeah, let's get into packing. I'm currently in the stage of just going into my closet and pulling things and just laying things out before actually packing anything. This is always so helpful when it comes to packing because I'll kind of just lay out everything that I think I'd want to bring, and then I put everything into categories and I figure out what can I remove, and it's kind of like a rough draft of what I will actually end up packing into my suitcase. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you guys what this is looking like. But back here I've just grabbed a ton of the dresses that I really want to bring, and it's so nice because I can actually look at the different patterns that I'm bringing. You know, if there's anything too similar, I can put one back. And this step in my packing routine always really helps me with overpacking because I am indeed such an overpacker and it is so hard for me not to overpack. So yeah, back here we have dresses. Over here I have shorts and skirts. So again, if I wasn't really doing this and I was just grabbing things and putting them into my suitcase, then I would probably be grabbing a lot of similar items or just things that aren't necessary. But so yeah, shorts and skirts. Over here I have like blouse tops. There's some tank tops, which I actually need to go to the mall and pick up a few basics today now that I'm looking at what I have at the moment. Over here I have pants, and it's so nice because I'm not packing jeans for this trip. Instead, I'm just opting for more of like linen long pants. And then back here I have cardigans. So again, another perk about going somewhere warm, which it should be pretty warm everywhere I'm going, is that I don't need to pack anything too thick. Then over here I'm really debating what shoes to bring. I'm not sure if this is too many sandals because I do have to bring at least a pair or two of sneakers. I might even just go with these two. But yeah, I will be trying on all of these different pieces. I don't think I'm gonna have much time now because I do have a nail appointment to get to. But that is the fun part about starting packing at least a few days in advance, that not everything has to be done at the last minute, but instead today's Thursday, so we still have Friday and Saturday. But yeah, I do have a nail appointment, which is so exciting because my nails are not looking good. I have been looking on Pinterest for a few different ideas, but for the most part, I do like to keep my nails pretty neutral when it comes to travel. I feel like neutral nails just kind of go with everything, but I did find a photo of nails that are neutral but still have like a fun twist to them. So I'm gonna leave everything as it is. I still haven't taken out any bathing suits, cover-ups, but I do need to get to my nail appointment, which I'm gonna take you guys on, and then also a few errands to run right after. Good morning. It is Friday, which means I'm leaving for Europe in about a day and a half. I wanted to share a few updates on what I got up to yesterday. Number one, I got my nails done, which you guys saw. When I travel, I love to do something neutral with my nails, even though I pretty much always get something neutral, but I decided to go for this baby pink color with a white chrome on top. So I feel like the chrome still adds something a little bit extra. And then the next thing that I did was I took a trip to Walmart, and that is something that I do before every single one of my trips, just to pick up all the essentials that I'm needing. So yeah, I have this bag here. I took a quick stop at the Apple store because I was needing wired headphones, and the reason why I need these is because I'm planning on making a lot of TikToks and reels with voiceovers, and if you didn't know, these wired headphones actually have a mic on them, so it makes the audio so much better when you make a voiceover. And then the rest is basically just all essentials. I picked up toothbrushes. I don't know what it is, you guys tell me if you can relate to this, but I love bringing a brand new toothbrush when I travel. And then I also got toothpaste. I got whitening strips, which I actually used one last night. I got a sunscreen, which is so important. I ended up picking up a fresh pack of razors. I just got two of these bottles where I can put product into, which one of them is probably going to be for my oil cleanser and then the other for my purple shampoo. These are the collagen masks that I've been seeing all over TikTok that you can use on the airplane. So I'm gonna plan on testing one of these out on my long flight to London. And then the last thing that I picked up is I actually stopped at Gap, which if you guys didn't know, I think I've shared this in a few videos in the past, but I am obsessed with Gap, especially their sweatsuits and their sweatpants. They're just so high quality and I try to pick them up all the time because they also go on really good sale. But these are really nice because they're flared at the bottom, so I feel like they're so comfortable. And then I also picked up this shirt. I just randomly saw it at Gap, this little t-shirt, and I feel like it's really good for the airport as well. And it's very on theme because it has some orange slices on it and it says spritz. So yeah, it feels very European summer, and I don't know, the material was just so comfortable. It feels like a pajama top. So this will also probably be a part of my airport attire. And I think I also forgot to mention this, but I got a pedicure on Wednesday, so I'm pretty much all done with my appointments. The last thing that I need to do is finish up my packing. I have laid out many more things than I did have yesterday, so I feel like we're on pretty good timing when it comes to packing, but there's still so much to do. But I'll give you guys an update as to what my floor is looking like. Basically, I've laid out some jewelry that I'm planning on bringing. Bathing suits, we have some bags, hats and pajamas, there's some belts right there, all of my pants. At least this is done today, and then tomorrow I can focus on more things like makeup, accessories. Yeah, I think we're in a pretty good place, and also these colors are so pretty.
could you get up soon? I get so cold in the other room. Here I am, honey, half awake. Get yourself moving and you'll be okay.
I wanted to give you guys a quick update on how I'm doing. I have been packing for the last 2 hours or so. Again, keeping in mind, I'm just trying to be as organized as possible. So when I'm traveling, everything is super easy to find. So as you guys saw, I basically categorized everything and put all of my clothing into my packing cubes. So pretty much I would say 90% of my clothes are now in packing cubes, which is so great because I feel like that's one of the most time consuming part of packing for me. And then since I'm still not leaving for a day and a half, I do have a handful of items that I'm still gonna put through the washer. Now that I just finished up all of my clothing, I actually started on packing up my jewelry and I am so obsessed. This is my little jewelry holder that I got from Amazon. I am so proud of how this turned out. I basically packed all of my earrings, more of my statement earrings on the top here, some bangles, which I love accessorizing, so I'm so excited to wear all of these pieces because I haven't in so long. And then back here I just have a couple of necklaces, and then I do have a couple of another pair of earrings. I'll just kind of pop them here, but it's still so much better than if I just threw all of this jewelry into a bag. So one of my favorite packing tips is actually using the bags that I'm bringing as storage. So I did that with my bathing suits. As you guys saw, I was originally going to put them in a packing cube, but the packing cube was too small. So then I used one of the beach bags that I'm bringing as storage for my bathing suits. And then tomorrow I'll focus on more of my makeup products, all fun things like that, and also technology. And then that way I don't forget anything, especially when it comes to technology, like chargers. And I'm also needing to pack adapters since I'm going to Europe. All of those things are very important, and I feel like I need to pack those things slowly. So for today, the last step that we're going to be doing is just starting to add everything into my suitcase and just seeing how much room I have. It is actually Saturday. I've overall had a really busy day today, especially getting a ton of work done. I had a few sponsorships to wrap up before I leave for Europe, which I feel so good about. I always love leaving for trips on a really good note. But yeah, I am feeling super excited because it is time to finish up any packing that I have left over, which I am in a pretty good place right now. I actually got a good amount of packing done last night. So I wanted to update you guys and show you what I've packed and what I've done over the past bit. I am feeling really worried about overpacking and making sure that my bags are of limit. There has been a good amount of items that I have been removing from my suitcase, just thinking about that I probably won't need it. And I know for the inner flights around Europe that are pretty quick, they can tend to be a little bit stricter when it comes to baggage weight, and they can definitely be a lot less lenient. So my goal for my packing is that my bag will be even lighter than I think the 23 kilograms, which I'm really hoping that I can do. But I actually did finish packing up my makeup, which I feel so good about. This is just like this Huda beauty bag that I have, and this is honestly such a good makeup bag. So basically it opens up like this, and I've actually put all of my makeup brushes in here, which they fit super well. But basically why I love this makeup bag is because it is so wide, and it also has a divider. It also came with other dividers, but I just like the setup of just having this one here. So I just kind of split up the makeup based on order. So the first half of my makeup and then the second half of my makeup, which again, I'm feeling very good about. I feel like as far as makeup, I'm pretty good with bringing one item per step. But then when it comes to lip products, I always want to bring so many. So I try to narrow it down to my favorite few. But I am debating packing this in my carry-on. I still haven't decided whether or not I'm going to do it, but I'm just a little bit worried about anything getting confiscated, even though I know everything is under the limit. And then this is what I packed all of my skincare in. It is a bag from Rode, and this is such a good beauty bag. I've been bringing it with me on all of my trips, and I feel like it's also kind of waterproof. So if anything spills in it, it's super thick and no products will actually go through onto your clothing, which is always a little bit of a fear. But yeah, in here I've added things like perfume. This is the fragrance that I'm bringing on this trip, alongside this one here, which is Juliet Has a Gun, but this is the Lust for Sun. And then this one is the replica Lazy Sunday Afternoon. Yeah, just all things like skincare. I also brought some tanning drops because I am really, really pale right now, and I'm going to a lot of events for the wedding that I'm going to in London. Just sunscreen, which I know I need to wear every single day. And then this is the moisturizer I'm going to be using this trip. It is brand new. It's by Kiehl's. And then I've also just packed a couple of razors. And then in here I have all things hair. So like hair clips. I actually put bobby pins in these little bag that I've gotten from jewelry, and this is such a good tip because I was thinking about bringing Ziploc bags, but I feel like they can just get a little bit messy. So I've just added some hair ties in these, and they just feel super organized. And then this one I have bobby pins and mini hair ties. But yeah, basically super self-explanatory, all things hair. Also a toothbrush. These are like a couple of mini products, so hairspray, which I'll be needing a lot of. And these packing cubes are also from Monos. And then here are my heat tools, just packed in another one of these. But yeah, I actually just ordered some sushi because I know I'm not gonna have much time to make anything, because I think I have until until around 9 p.m. this evening to get everything else organized, but I am feeling like I'm in a really good place, and that is such a weight off my shoulders. Really, the only step I still have to do is put everything in my suitcase and then weigh it, which is going to be a whole task on its own because I'm a little bit nervous for that step, but I have a feeling that I'll make it work. And then after that, I need to pack my carry-on, and I want to make sure my carry-on is feeling really good as well because I'm thinking I might need to add a couple of things, like possibly my makeup bag and also my heat tools in my carry-on, which might be a little bit heavy to carry around, but it's better than having an overweight bag. But I will try my best to not have an overweight bag at all. I'm super excited. I think it is time to put everything in my suitcase. It doesn't even feel real that I'm leaving tomorrow because I have been looking forward to this trip for so long. I feel like it is just insane that it is actually tomorrow, and that about a day and a half from right now I'm going to be in London. So it is actually officially travel day. I have just been running around this morning doing a couple of last minute things, finishing up packing my carry-on. I'm so excited for my flight and I can't wait to begin this 3-week travel journey. It actually feels so surreal that we're even leaving today, but I wanted to show you guys what I pack in my carry-on just really quickly, even though I do have about 5 minutes before I have to leave. Also, you guys, I wanted to say I love the airport. I don't know if anyone else can relate, but for me, my travels start as soon as I get to the airport. I get so excited. Actually, I love the packing process as well. The airport is just one of my favorite places and I really enjoy the whole process of travel. That being said, carry-ons are very important. I've traveled with all types of carry-ons and I just recently got this bag from Winners, which was such a good find, but I'm going to show you guys everything that's in it. First of all, makeup bags are one of my favorite tools for travel. Here's one, and I basically fill them up with different things as organizers. So in this one, I have all sorts of electronics and chargers. I also have my portable charger, so when I'm looking for my charger, I know exactly where it is rather than trying to find it in a big mess of a bag. Also, my laptop is always so important. I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of work and getting some videos edited while I'm on the airplane. I brought these collagen masks. These are like the 9-hour collagen masks, so I think I'm going to do it on the longer flight. This bag has a lot of pockets, which is my favorite part about it, but I just brought my hairbrush, hand cream, this lip mask, which my lips always get really chapped on the plane, and then a Little Road lip peptide treatment, which this is so moisturizing. So yeah, that is, I guess, pretty much all other than my passport. Oh yeah, also my headphones, which are also so important. I'll definitely be using those the entire flight. And then these are the socks that I'm gonna put on. They're these Aloe socks, but they're really tight, almost like compression socks, so I know that that also really helps with flying. Also, for a hoodie, I'm gonna be putting on this gray hoodie. I'm wearing this shirt, the shirt that I actually showed you guys. It's from Gap and it says Spritz on it, but it is so comfortable and light. And then I'm wearing the same Gap sweatpants, which are just kind of like flowy at the bottom. And then for shoes, I'm wearing my Converse, which these are going to be probably my main sneakers when I'm in Europe because they're so comfortable. Yeah, I think I'm going to end off this video here just because I do need to get going, but I am so excited. The fact that I'm leaving feels so surreal, and I hope if you're watching this video and you're going somewhere or you're traveling, I would love to know in the comments where you're going. If you guys want to watch how my trip goes, I'll be sharing a ton of vlogs and videos and photos over on my Instagram and my TikTok, so I'll leave my name right here. But yeah, I love you guys. I hope you're doing amazing. I'll see you guys back with my next video.